terminology as in, if we look at it as in thinking of Father Christmas, okay? That belief in Father Christmas when you're younger, having that belief, and then when you get to a certain stage and someone turns around and says to you, it's not real. Well, we know that he really is, right? Yeah. So it's that having that belief of having that energy around that individual. And the same thing with deities, goddesses, saints, in different religions, it's exactly the same thing. It's that belief in keeping you, so I've got a cheeky guide, keeping you sane. Okay. As in having that belief and that hope. They are there, they are around you, they do step forward. And by being, and the people around the world, in human and mankind, around the world, by bringing in that energy, by praying, by setting the intentions to those individual saints, goddesses, God, angels, whoever, it empowers it, it creates an energy source, it creates an energy around them individually, okay? So they're there, it's just down to those individually who wish to believe or not. What a sad world you live in if you don't believe in anything. Sorry, one of my guys just turned around and said. But they all represent their cultures, their beliefs, their religions, and also helps you to have that strength to get on and to move forward and to support you and offer you those guidance. That's what I've just heard. And this is what I've just heard. Not everyone is meant to be, not everyone will attach to crystals. You also said about the evil eye. That's not going to be meant for everyone. But what I'm hearing also, see how you take this, what I'm being shown is that you never wanted to have anything around your neck. So that really feels like it's an imprint from a past life myself, which I'm picking up on. So whether being, someone just said incarcerated, having a collar as such, or something around your neck, or anything that was there to force you, to hold you stuck, it feels as if by everything breaking away, by everything coming away from you, from falling apart, it's almost like this intention you've set within your energy stream. It's like an echo or like a fingerprint around you. So that imprint around your own energy, it's like you've been there before, you've had something around your neck before, you're not going to have it in this lifetime. So by it breaking every single time, it feels like it's not meant to be right now. That's what I'm hearing loud and clear. Okay, so I am not hearing that it's to do with negativity in the sense of somebody who's put a curse on you or wishing you evil. It's more to do with the fact that it's very much to do with the fact that it's about the imprint of echo of previous lifetimes that you've been here. It's about that you want to be released, you want to be let go, and it's like not having that forced around your neck. And that's what I'm hearing very clearly right now. It's more to do with the work looking at maybe past life regression, or you could be sitting with this and asked to be shown. You can ask to be shown, okay, this is what they just said to me. Very much what they're saying right now is you could do this through, I'm wondering, I would think that really to be take someone to take you through it. But they're also saying that you could do this with lucid dreaming or journaling before you go to sleep. Ask for some direction, ask for you to be shown some information about what's happened. Oh gosh, my throat won't make sense. I'm talking about ask to be shown the information about what's happened to you previously for your voice. I'm also hearing about you personally, about your voice not being constricted or not held back anymore. So it's about your journey also with your voice in this lifetime, about how you might feel that how you're being pulled back, or somebody's stopping you talking, or your voice is not being heard, because I'm hearing and feeling it in my throat right now. Does that make sense? And that's very much what they're saying this week with the journaling, also by journaling and before you go to sleep, and asking for the answer to questions that will come up for you this week. That will be very clear of what will be happening on your journeys. God, my throat feels very much how the voice is starting to be opened by many at the moment, and voice being heard as we step forward now. This is what I'm hearing very clearly. So yes, it's about letting your voice be true to yourself. That's what I'm hearing for many people that will hear this information. It's about being true to your inner voice right now, allowing it to come out. That seems to be very, very important right now for many people. Okay. By the journey of the soul, as in those who have come into our lives at those individual times that have created those obstacles or created those wounds, it's very much about looking at where that wound was created, that part of who you were in your development, in your progress of how you moved forward, okay? And they were talking very much about that, as in letting go of that. Okay, thank you. Now, by letting go of that would be by writing down that situation on some paper, okay? What I'm hearing also is to ask, talk to them, and whether it's comfortable or uncomfortable on your own doing this, or working with an individual that you can do this with, that you can communicate with them. I mean, personally, I've done that with a number of spirits that have come through. They've had a conversation with the individual and they've talked through what's happened during that situation and they've let go of it. But it's, okay, thank you, they just said very clearly, it's very much about the living human that needs to be able to deal with this, to let this go. So it's really about then having a conversation with the individual, because as we know, the energy, they've passed over, we can't see them necessarily, but the energy is still there, that's still that link to that individual, whatever has happened, if that makes sense. They sort of said, what is it, or the forgiving, or the forgiveness, they've just said it that way, of what it is that you want from that. How, okay, I've just heard from Spirit. They're saying, how may they serve you? Because they wish to put this to one side. So what Spirit's saying is also, some people would think when someone has passed over and they've died, they would say they've just died, that's it, it's gone. It hasn't gone, it's still an echo, it's still an imprint, and so it holds you energetically, links you to that individual still. So it'd be very much about what it is that you want from them. That's what I just heard. You need to tell them what you want from them who have passed over on the other side, and so that they can then send you some healing or asking forgiveness or working with you on that situation so you can release that link, because otherwise it's going to play out again, that same situation. When they said there are wounds to be healed, there's very much wounds to be healed on the planet right now, and with individuals as well, okay? And that is going to create a lot of density and that feeling of heaviness. You know, reported to me recently by a number of clients of how tired they're feeling, or having lack of energy, can't get up, can't be inspired to do anything, you know, lack of motivation, and really struggling to pull themselves up at the moment. And that's very much what's going on at the moment. Thank you, I've just been told, where the planets are all squared on and, you know, facing energetically with the Earth at the moment, and how they've all lined up, that means there needs to be this storm that I heard, this shift in energy, and to do that it has to be from the collective that's on the planet right now. So individual humans of what's coming up for you, you have to release it and to let go. Now, very interesting in the sense of, also told very much about the divine feminine energy hitting the planet right now, and it has been coming up and it's been due for some time. And I was looking more intensely at what they meant by this, but what they were saying was that if we look at the planet and have all the changes that have been happening on the planet, going hundreds of years, centuries even, going through the whole planet, of where the feminine energy has been pushed down, submerged to some degree, and how the voice, the feminine voice, now this does affect men as well. This is just not talking about women, this is talking also about men who are really in touch with that part of them, the emotional side of them, there's sensitivities as well, where you have that, where there's this, it's about balance on the earth at the moment, where there's this balance within man, as in the masculine man, as they show me, and this is not the masculine just devoted to males, it's also to females, but there has been an imbalance for some time, and on your planet there's been an uprising, a surge of changing, equality and changing going on in the whole planet. Now the earth needs a change, the planet needs a change for you to exist, for you to move on as a planet. You need to have the different energies that are coming up at the moment. So with this battle, this struggle that's going on with the energies, the feminine energy, the masculine energy, and all the other energies brewing at the moment, it's very much so why Spirit have just said the wound needs to be healed now. And it's about empowering people whose voices haven't been heard, men and women, but for their voices who haven't been heard, where they have been suppressed and put down. So that is very much, they said, like that boil, when we have a boil that comes up on your face, if it's sore, it's tender, it's aching until it erupts. And that's what's going on with the energy at the moment. It's tender, it's aching, it needs to come up, it needs to erupt, it needs to burst open. Now this is not a quick fix. This is going to go on, they just said great, I'm like great, for a 5-year period. So it's very much that you have to be within that energy, be aware of your own particular energy, and to self-care. If you're tired, you take rest, okay? To push against it isn't going to work for you as an individual, but uprising of everybody that's very like-minded, those individuals are coming together through that belief, that awakening to the alignment. This is what's all been going on to help you to move forward into that change. So you as an individual person, it would be to self-care, to know how you're feeling and to honour that and just to be with it and to say, it's okay. And then that might be also shifting out some old feelings or thought processes that you've always thought you have to keep going and, you know, chasing your own tail. If you don't keep going, if you don't push ahead, who else is going to be there for your family or friends or whatever? And they're just saying you have shouldered a lot of burden on your own shoulders. You've been there for many family members and you're there also for other mankind. So they're saying you have to take the rest when you need the rest, and you have to know that if you need to stop, you need to stop for a while. It's very much you have to take this moment. But that divine feminine energy is coming in and it will be here and it's working its way through. So the planet's going to feel very different in the next 5 years. There's definitely uproaring, there's people coming together, it's collective, people understanding more about energy. Does that make sense? Okay, so as we know, nothing's a coincidence, okay? And the energies we were talking earlier about goddesses, saints and deities and everyone else, it's very much about working with individual energies that will help you to move forward. Now, very much I'm hearing about storm, the eye of the storm with Shiva, and I'm also talking about obstacles. And then I'm also hearing right now it's about opening that third eye much clearer and open, wider now, to see things in a different light. That's what I'm hearing very clear. So it's really about now having open mind, open heart, and having that awareness there is something more than what you see. So that's what I'm hearing very clearly now. So removing obstacles. So if through each and individual of your lives there will be obstacles coming forward, and it's about really working on moving those obstacles. And the obstacles that are presented to you, see them as literally it's moving you closer to where you need to be. So it's about surrendering, letting go of that, not to get yourself head on as in a ball fight. This is not the time for a ball fight, okay? They're talking about this is not that energy right now. This is about observing, stop, look and listen at that, to see those obstacles, to be really aware. Okay, they just said very clear. You have to be aware as an individual that you have to be aware of your third eye. You have to have it open. You have to see much more clearly now. It's not just going to happen by wearing a talisman, they just said, but it's more about practice. You have to put into practice your beliefs, your feelings. It has to be an ongoing daily practice, your meditation, moving forward into what you want in life. It's not about having a cross on the wall or other talismans to believe that's going to take care of everything for you. You have to practice that. You have to fully immerse that within your body. It has to be part of who you are, part of your DNA to help you to move forward. That's what they're saying very clearly. So that's what they're saying about having the deities, the goddesses, the saints, whoever you have and what you believe in. It's very much about you really have to set the intention to believe, to follow it through, and to know that it will guide you. Okay. What I'm hearing very clearly is the feminine energy is more of a nurturing energy to some degree, and not to be gender specific, but it is very much, as they're saying, is that feminine energy is the tender gentleness to step back, to observe, to hold, to stop, look and listen. Whereas some of the masculine energy, and this is not as defined by male, female, but the masculine energy does step forward when it needs to act, as in it needs to respond, as it needs to defend. But what they're saying very clearly is that the feminine energy creates that balance. It's been out of balance for too long on the planet, where the energy has been more about defending. This energy that's coming in is not about defending. This energy is about supporting and guidance and nurturing. That's what's coming in. So it's very much about this moment how it will offer the guidance, the support, tender. It's much more tender. Oh, thank you. But then hearing that, I just also heard this. Also the other side of this feminine energy, it's a strong energy. I just have a lovely goddess stepping forward, and she's very strong, and she says that it's also about the other side, where there is that strength in by standing still, by observing, by taking the time. She says it's from the heart. It's a different energy altogether. So allowing yourself to be in that energy, that feminine energy, male, female, is irrelevant to some degree, but to hold the space for others by being patient, to allow others to take this time to process their feelings, because of the change that's happening on the planet right now, that there may be like an uprising of individuals who are fearful. And it's really about this time as in holding the space for others. So with this fearfulness of coming up, of change, this feminine energy is really about, it's going to be the driving force of supporting, nurturing and offering guidance, but done in a different way. And there's an empowerment in that. There is power in stepping back and observing and just being there and offering guidance. It's not about war or fighting. And even though, as I just heard, your planet has been very much about fighting and protecting, this is not about fighting and protecting. And then I just heard, why do you feel that light beings haven't been able to expose themselves to your planet? There is change happening on your planet. Many of you will see more of those UFOs, those aliens, light beings, light workers that will come forward, because there will be those that will hold the space for it. So the feminine energy is about holding the space for others, but not fighting, but being strong. I hope that answers your question.